Good afternoon, welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. Today, the installation of the first dialogue table between the Raizal community and the departmental government took place. From the Co-Recreational Center, Alice Medina gives us information. Alice, good afternoon. What is happening right now?
Hello Lisa and all the TV viewers who connect right now with us in Teleislas News. I say hello from here from the co-op where right now they are making the installment of the dialogue table between the Raizal people and also the government, where they want to talk about different topics like this overpopulation in our island and also the reconstruction of the houses after the passage of Hurricane Iota. In the different directors that are here is the director of the Electoral, also the Secretary of Social Development and the governor in charge, Randy Manuel. This is what the governor in charge say in the installation of this table.
And we're here today. Today is to install this desk that this is really important. This moment, all the moment then that we can articulate, have a conversation with one another. We really need it. This table today, we have the Raizal community. Ms. Ophelia sitting on the table, Mr. Juan Ramirez, Mr. Pastor Augusto. We have the different institutions who are here accompanying with today. We have the Secretary of Development. We have the Director of Opera. This moment is really not easy. Some of the secretaries who are not here this moment have different things from the country area that is required some issues, so that's why they're not here this moment. I was with them, so I come late at this moment, but this moment is really great.
We are here to solve your concerns and give solution to your problems as much as possible. We are going to read the rules of the game, and I ask for an excuse because we had an order in which the intervention of the Secretariat of Social Development was last, but we need to move the order of the day because I have to be excused.
In our central broadcast, we will bring more information about the specific petitions that the Raizal people is making in this dialogue table. This is all the information for here from the co-op. Continue studio with more information.
The DIAM has reported that the low-pressure system transiting through the Caribbean does not present a direct risk to the archipelago. However, rainy weather is expected to affect the region.
According to the recent report issued by the National Hurricane Center, precipitation and disorganized thunderstorms associated with a low pressure are observed near the Yucatan Peninsula and in the southeastern Gulf of Mexico. Therefore, the EDM refers to the indirect influence that the disturbance could cause in sectors of the western Colombian Caribbean Sea, including areas of the archipelago of San Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina, generating cloudy conditions with moderate to heavy rains, probability of thunderstorms and gusty winds in the aforementioned areas. In addition, EDM warns and recommends to the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management and to the departmental and municipal councils of the Caribbean region and the archipelago of San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina to take the necessary measures, together with the communities, to avoid the loss of human lives and material goods, activating and reinforcing prevention measures aimed at reducing the risk of natural disasters. As a preventive measure, EDM is calling for the review and activation of contingency plans for those phenomena that may cause gales or mini tornadoes in sectors of the Caribbean region, including coastal and island areas with the close passage of tropical waves or cyclones.
And the authorities of the department are preparing all the emergency protocols for the hurricane season, which is why they provide security recommendations to the citizens so that they have the necessary measures in case of an eventual occurrence of this phenomenon over the archipelago.
In its communique number 29, IDEAM announced that the hurricane season in the Atlantic for 2022 will be higher than normal. The National Unit for Disaster Risk Management provides recommendations to the public because the presence of these phenomena in the Atlantic and Caribbean Sea could have an impact on the islands with heavy rainfall and winds, which is why the community should be ready for any eventual emergencies.
Begin securing your roofs, either by tying them or with different anchoring systems. Also, begin making your family emergency plans, which is very important because many times we make institutional plans for emergencies but not family plans. Very important as well is to secure in a backpack all your safety or first aid kits with your important documentation. In addition, begin keeping your yards clean because that affects the water level in case of heavy rains, which will raise the water level and cause flooding.
The departmental government, as well as the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management, specify that currently there is no alarm for hurricane incidents over the archipelago of San Andres. Therefore, they invite citizens to ignore the threads of instant messaging on social media and be informed through the communication channels of government agencies and official media.
And the National Registry of Civil Status established the electoral calendar of the different activities that must be developed for the celebration of the second round of elections for President and Vice President of the Republic in 2022. Following, we share with you what are those activities would be and on what days they must be developed.
The calendar of activities to be developed prior to the second round of presidential elections of 2022 to be held on June 19 is divided as follows. Overseas voting will be held during the week of Monday, June 13 to Sunday, June 19 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Political groups have until Friday, June 17 to nominate citizens who will serve as electoral witnesses on the 102,152 voting tables that will be installed in the national territory and abroad. Likewise, the political administrative division, the electoral census, the polling stations, and the jurors will be the same as the ones that were established for the first presidential round held on May 29th. The National Registrar of Civil Status, Alexander Vega Rocha, announced that all the measures contained in the Guarantees and Strengthening Strategic Plan for the 2022 presidential elections will remain in force for the second round.
And in other news, Afroculture was experienced throughout the morning at the Bolivariano Institute. The educational institution carried out an Afro-environmental activity led by a teacher who is committed to the empowerment of Afro, Palenquero, and racial culture. Here is a report of what was experienced.
Es un espacio de conexión.
This is a space for connection with our greatness as an ethnic community, as an Afro-racial population. We even have a Palenquero community here in the Institute, and this is to show our ancestral connection with Mother Earth, with recycling and environmental entrepreneurship.
With handicrafts made from recyclable materials, costumes representative of the Afroculture, typical gastronomy of the island, music, among others, the agro-environmental fair of the Bolivariano Institute was celebrated in style with the participation of all the students linked to this school. Contests, prizes, and parades were not lacking in this activity. In the main hallway of the institution, all attendees could see stands where each one shows something different about agriculture and the environment.
Hoy los engalanamos con un vestuario afro.
Today we have the Afro dresses, so the students come with their costumes, with their hair curled. We have the African fashion show. We have the African Queen activity, which has to do with the girls who have talent and skills to make cornrows and braids. We have some ambassadors who use costumes in recyclable material, and we have a lot of important things here today. We also invited Afro Women's Organization so that they can see that at the Bolivariano Institute we have space for culture and education.
One of the very important things that was highlighted during the activity was recycling and how they instilled in the students the importance of reusing some elements, such as coconut-based cosmetic products and other products that are seen in the archipelago department. Afro women, their hair and their color are also empowered this morning, an initiative created to enhance and exalt the culture of the island people.
Entre enero del 2019 y febrero del 2022, el Fondo Nacional del Ahorro acumuló utilidades netas por 534.000 millones, más viviendas para más colombianos.
And the UNDAS program of San Andres and Providence has received good reception and interest in the 7 educational institutions and 9 sites that have been visited to present socialize the call that seeks to form 80 research groups of children and adolescents.
The line advisors are advancing with the research question that the students have in this call, which aims to increase the level of development of research, scientific, technological, and innovation skills and capabilities in the children and youth of the archipelago. The call is open until today, Friday, June 3rd, and is aimed at children, adolescents, and young people accompanied by investigating teachers from preschool, elementary, and middle school educational institutions.
We're going very good. We get to go into all the different schools where we want to be part of it. We hope the rest of the community come out. We hope the rest of the Pitney can be part of it. We want to remind the community that this program, that one program for help get tools and for strengthen the ability them we Pitney them in their capacity to investigate, to ask questions, and to be curious about life in general. So we then invite them to come out, to ask questions about their neighborhood, about their school, and whatsoever they got in mind, they can join this new project where we launch out from the National University and from the departmental government.
Students interested in participating should download the terms of reference on the website of the National University Caribbean campus.
And now let's get to know other facts that today are making news in our brief news section.
The Coralina Environmental Corporation continues to conduct an awareness campaign on Resolution number 283 of 2021, which implements Law 1973 of 2019, which regulates and prohibits the entry, marketing, and use of bags and other plastic materials in the Archipelago Department. Staff of the environmental entity visited the facilities of ICA, where they conducted an educational talk on the law of plastics and the importance of conservation of pirate fish. The director in charge of the Regional Center San Andres, Leonora Barragan Bedoya, made the unveiling of the plaque of the auditorium of the hotel school that will be called from today Jose Juca Hugson, in memory of the instructor and environmental protector who died in January of this year. The ceremony was attended by his wife, his children, and other family members, as well as officials and instructors of the institution. In his office at the Coral Palace, Governor Everett Harkins Shogreen received the manager of Satena, Major General Luis Carlos Cardova Avendaño, with whom they discussed aspects of the air connectivity between the island municipality and the department, as well as air strategies that would benefit the entire archipelago department.
And with this information, we reach to the end of our broadcast, but we see you tonight at 8 p.m. with more of Teleislas News. Good afternoon.